What's happening, guys? I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever. Danny and I's schedules haven't added up, but today he's hit me up on a Wednesday, same time. I'm here at Coventry, and what we're doing today is I'm picking out fish for a service client. So if you go back, Danny, this is when you post a cool shot of the tank we installed. We installed this awesome 48-inch by 26-inch deep by 37-inch tall aquarium. This thing is awesome. It's pretty much like a 220 tall. And we're gonna fit some bigger freshwater fish. We're gonna make this a large community tank, and we're gonna base this tank on color. One of the things I'm showing you guys here back behind us is I'm showing you guys double 220s, different styles. This here is a straight catch-em-all tank. There is Tanganyika in here, there's South American, there is all sorts of fish that you normally not put together, but we got it down to a science, what works and how we make it work. And then on the back here, we have a full African system. Today I'm going through and I'm trying to decide what type of fish we're gonna get ready for this tank. So this tank's been running for just about almost 4 weeks now. We started it with a few fish, and now today we're gonna increase that bio by some biomedia we've had pre-running ahead of time, and it's time to add some new fish. Come with me and check it out. When it comes down to aquariums, there's all sorts of aquarium sizes. Whether we're taking a large tree coming up above the rim, we're doing all community fish, whether we're doing a canopy top tank. That's one of the coolest things is there's all different types of fish tank styles, and there's also all types of fish depending on the personalities. And you want the fish to fit your personality. For today, we're going bright colors, we're going larger fish, and we're looking for something cool that looks amazing in the home aquarium. Once we get here, I'm looking for the right fish that I like that just look great for color, and I know there's gonna be an awesome mix. And one of the first things that catch my eyes are the large blue Aquariums. They have like this deep blue, these baby blues, and I love that red stripe right on the top. Another great fish of mine, that's my all-time favorite, I love green terrors, and we're definitely gonna do a green terror inside this tank as well. And I know it's tough to see the colors on them right now because it's got a stress color, especially I'm just doing this with a light, but this fish is a smoke show of a fish. I love those deep color blues. It's got almost like an aqua blue to a deeper blue, and that nice orange red stripe along the back. Now, saying the same thing. When it comes down to like different types of fish, you gotta understand, not all because it is that fish doesn't mean they're gonna all have great colors. These blue Aquariums we get them from a Florida breeder, and they are fantastic with amazing colors. When you're choosing fish, especially when it comes to services, I'm basing on mid-level, top level, and bottom level swimmers. I want that interaction throughout the whole aquarium. This tank aquarium is a tall aquarium. We want fish that are going up and down and then just swim throughout the whole thing. We're also basing on color and compatibility. You want to make sure these fish get along. And sometimes the fish are tough. You got to think that all personalities are different, so you got to base it on that. You do the best you can, but you want to try to get the best mix possible with a great blast of color. Now I'm looking for this ultimate show fish. That's like the fun part, right? You base the aquarium on a bunch of different fish, but you have those few fish that just make the aquarium pop. One of my all-time favorite fish when it comes to that is super red severums. That intense orange and red and how big they are just make the tank look great. Another great fish for this is Geophaguses. I like different types of geos because I like how they mix up the sand. It is a sand bottom on this, so I like how those feeders that go through the sand, sift that sand, and pick out the different types of foods from there as well. All right, so we're using a styro. So these are going out for a service. If you guys out here in Rhode Island, it's been like 14, 15 degrees. I just gotta make sure the styro can go in one of the service vehicles. We're gonna put a heat pack in it so it can go a few hours with the fish being in there where there's not gonna be any issues. Now, normally I don't pick out fish for services. That is not what I do because the service, when you're a service client, you're working with your service tech. They're the ones that are gonna help you pick out. You're working at customer relations. These were just fish that the service client told us when we installed the tank that we talked to them, and I wanted to make sure they go out there because they were basing the tank on these fish. And then from there, the service tech that takes care of the aquarium is the one who guides them the rest of the way from there. A fairly small Royal Green Terra. These are one of my top favorite fish because same thing, I like that orange back on the tail. I love that aqua blue color, but I love the greens on these guys as well. Great color contrast. The males just look unbelievable. I'm starting with not a small one, but like a middle-sized one because these can be a territorial fish. I want some of the other fish to be a lot bigger than him so he grows up into, with these bigger fish. When it comes down to a tank like this, remember, this is a big tank. You're talking about pretty much a 225, and then you're adding, we have this monster life support system on the bottom too. Now we added all our biomedia that we had pre-running ahead of time to this kind of jumpstart the tank. We use a lot of turbo start. Now we just picked out 4 fish, and not tiny fish, like they're some good sized fish. we want to be careful that we're not overloading this tank too quick, too fast. Now, there is some fish in there established already to start the cycle, but we want to add a couple more fish, but that's it. Every time when we go to a service, so now when we're back there in 2 more weeks, we'll add a few more fish. And then same thing, 2 more weeks later, we'll do the same thing until the tank's full or the service client's happy with where it's at, and kind of base it from that. I'm gonna add 3 rainbow sharks. I wanna pick out 3 big, fat, happy ones. Big difference between rainbow sharks and red tails. Red tails are very aggressive. You gotta be careful. We will push boundaries though with red tails, so they'll do fine with African cichlids because they can hold their own. But in a tank like this, a red tail would demolish some of these other guys. But I love this fish. We're gonna add 3 of these guys. They pick little spots like rocks and they kind of swim around that area. Looks pretty cool. Great looking bottom species. We don't add plecos usually until like 5 or 6 weeks. This one's getting a little bit more sunlight. It's a good piece of driftwood. I want to keep that driftwood clean as possible, so we do use some plecos. Now, when it comes down to plecos for service counts, we try to use smaller species. When you use common plecos, they just get way too big. Mostly nobody's gonna have a house. I can show you one over there in the corner and you just see how big the common one's what. So I'm gonna use a para pleco. Doesn't get too big, about full grown, about that size, and enough to stay inside this 225. So this is all wet biomedia. It's been pre-running on one of our tanks. I'm actually gonna show you one of the fish that it runs in. It's not much in it because we want it to be clean. And this is gonna get added there today as well to the sump system. So this isn't even a full grown species. So Danny, while we were videotaping this, wanted me to show this off because we were talking about common plecos. Now common plecos are probably one of the largest drop-off fish that we get because they just get too big for everybody's tank. We use this guy, he helps us cycle a lot of the biomedia we use for the service and installs to kind of jumpstart the tanks. I mean, he's pretty cool, we like him here, but he's just, you gotta think, this fish needs so much room. You can see we have a huge Geophaguses at Seaconk and that 225, and he looks awesome. You just need a very massive tank, and these fish are getting bought for tanks. They're like 20 and 30 gallons. And you're like, what are you gonna do with that net? I'm not gonna actually catch the fish with the net. If I did that, that's fish, because he's so armored, would get caught in this. I'd have to pull things out. I'm actually gonna use my hands. I just need to kind of scoot him over. Oh, perfect, thank you. Just enough where I can get you up here. Okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So what I'm just trying to do is, I'm trying to make it so he doesn't splash and I soak all the electrical right now. So I'm just trying to wait until he calms down. So see how I pull out the net? I'm not really using the net. This is where you get yourself in trouble. All those little spurs. You don't want to get stuck in there. But it is a cool fish, no question about it. I love this fish. And this isn't even full grown. Easily another foot, easily. And the Adonises are the largest species, they get bigger than that. Those bad boys can hit 3. But tell me that is not just a crazy looking fish. But it does not belong to anyone. You know, this is just, we gotta be very cautious about it. That's why we use smaller species of plecos. So you always see us bushy noses, the para plecos, the blue phantoms, the green phantoms, all that, the flash, the clowns. Those are plecos that are more for the aquaria than these guys are. I just want to show you guys quick preview what it's like to pick out fish for the service clients. And the service techs love doing it and finding the right fish for them as well. And all you guys out there, for everyone coming in for retail, I gotta say all the stores are pretty loaded up with fish considering how tough it's been able to get fish right now. So we got plenty of fish in stock right this second. We have a big order from, I believe Colombia is coming in on Sunday night. That'll start coming up available as Monday. If you guys also, all new aquariums are packed out in all 3 stores. We're loaded up. Come join us this weekend. We thank you so much for the love and support. I love all you guys. Check out any of the other videos, and thanks Danny as well. Take care, bye.